Okay, in ECW,
Yeah.
weren't you supposed to have a match with Shane Douglas for the
I did.
title? Or you did?
Yeah, I did. And and Paulie, had this idea. He was like, "Oh, everybody's going to assume that you're going to win." And I think we need to keep the belt on Shane. And Shane was a mess. Shane had a broken arm. He had sinus and all. His nose was all broken and everything. And I just, at that time I had re-signed with WWF. I was on my way out anyways.
Yeah.
And we went and worked in Georgia at the pay-per-view, headlined the pay-per-view, and I put Shane over.
Where was the pay-per-view in Atlanta?
Just
Marietta?
Outside of Atlanta. Yeah, I think it was like Marietta.
Where they used to do WCW TV.
Yeah,
I remember the building.
Yeah, and I remember talking about this with Terry Taylor, and Terry was like, "Man, they, and this isn't me, this isn't my opinion, but Terry and a lot of other people said that Paul made a big mistake. They should have just everybody wanted me to win the title. He said they should have let me win the title, and then the very next week at TV, let Taz take it off. If I'm
that's what I would have done.
Yeah, but Paul wanted to keep it on.
Yeah, well, Shane. He owns the company, so I understand that.
Yeah.
Can I interrupt? Sorry, Dutch. I want to continue on that briefly. Do you think if you'd not sign with the WWF, but if WWF had let you stay in ECW a bit longer, would the plans have changed and you would have been the champ?
No, I don't think so. The reason that I did resign, Vince Russo reached out to me, months prior about wanting, he had seen what I was doing and he had talked to Vince McMahon and wanted to bring me back. And I was like, nope, I'm fine right where I'm at, Vince. I'm happy. And then a couple weeks go by, and I think Dutch can corroborate this for me.
Oh, I didn't take the oath you did. You have to tell the truth. I'll tell a bunch of lies here.
Well, I'm at Jerry Lynn's house. We're doing a run in Florida, like a 4-day run in Florida. And I'm in Orlando and I'm at Jerry Lynn's house. And I'm watching the opening of the television show. They made a new opening of the television show, the ECW show. Okay. And I'm not bragging. I'm not, at that time I was pretty much one of the most over guys in the company.
I think, James, he is starting to brag here a little bit. Go ahead.
Well, and I think you'll attest to this, Dutch. The people you want to sell, that you want to highlight, you put on that opening reel, the highlight reel. Well, I was nowhere on it. Nowhere. Nothing. And I was like, that is not a good sign. That shows what Paul's
what your plans were.
Yep. So I picked up the phone that same night. I called Vince Russo. I said, and that was when we were still could send a VHS tape. I said, Vince, I'll send you a VHS tape. He goes, all right. I sent the VHS tape, and a week or two later, Vince McMahon called me, and I re-signed to go back with WWE.
Did who came up with the idea of all the styrofoam heads in the crowd?
It was kind of a group thing. It was Paul. It was me. It was, and then Paul. Paul wanted it to look like it was a rave, like a party whenever I came out. And Charlie and Ron, the camera guys, they were the ones that would turn the camera upside down and push it in and out. They came up with all of that, and it worked. I mean, it was a great run. That's for sure. It was a lot of fun. So,
well, it was easy to work with. I know that.
And then the thing that got me over the most in ECW was not the wrestling. I tell people this all the time. I'd gotten hurt. I'd worked with Paul. I always forget his name. Thunder Bay, Ontario, Canada. Paul. He was with.
Paul.
He was with the Orient Express.
Wait a minute. I have no idea.
I always forget his name. But we worked in the arena, and Paul Heyman had just came to me, and he was going to. I could tell he finally was starting to get behind the head gimmick. He was wanting me to come out and save Sandman, and have Sandman's t-shirt wrapped around the head or whatever, try and give me the rub from Sandman. And that night, Paul went to give me a gourd buster. My arm got caught up underneath me and it completely dislocated my shoulder. And like it was 2 weeks out from the pay-per-view, from the November to Remember pay-per-view. Paul was, going to have me work on the pay-per-view, but unfortunately I got hurt. So he put me in Chris Candido, God bless his heart, politicked and got me a backstage vignette where I'm talking to the head and everything else is normal. And the next day, that was the one thing everyone talked about, was that vignette. So if I'd have gotten a chance to wrestle, I honestly don't think I'd have gotten over near like I had, like just simply being backstage and doing that vignette. And that was what really got it over, what really sold the character.